If you're coming to Iceland in January and you don't know what to wear, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll go over the weather, the daylight, the northern lights, what to wear, and I'll give you a few examples of what to wear in certain conditions. No fluff or anything like that, just straight to the point. So let's get to it. January is one of the coldest months of the year. You're looking at the average temperature around -1 degree Celsius. Now that's the average, but you can definitely expect it to go all the way down to -10 degrees. And then we'll add the wind chill, so it'll get pretty cold. But you're not going to experience extreme cold, like -30 degrees Celsius. It's definitely going to be snowy and icy, so be mindful of that if you're driving. But overall, it's going to be cold. January is a dark month. We'll go from around 4 hours of daylight to 7 over the course of the month. Just a bit more than December. So you definitely want to plan your days around the daylight. So for example, if you're going the Golden Circle, you'll want to be arriving at your first destination just before the sun is rising. That way you can take advantage of the daylight. It's still very dark, as I mentioned, so January is a great time to try and see the northern lights. You won't have to stay up super late, hopefully, and you'll have plenty of opportunities to see them. Let's just hope it's not too cloudy all the time. And now for the main part. Here's what you should wear to stay warm. Let's start with the base layers. I highly recommend thermal underwear. They keep you warm, they dry fast, and they breathe well. You'll absolutely want to wear these all the time in January. Now for mid layers, you want to think about breathability. So think sweatpants, preferably from a sports brand, wool sweaters, or hiking sweaters, just anything that keeps you warm but also breathes well. Hoodies can be a good option for a mid-layer, but be very mindful because a lot of them don't breathe well. So again, you want to make sure they're from a sports brand. Then put on some good socks. I recommend merino wool. They breathe well, dry fast, and they'll keep you warm. Then follow that up with a good pair of hiking boots. You want to make sure that they are highly water resistant. Think Gore-Tex or similar. If they're leather, great. You want a mid or high top if you're going glacier hiking, for example, so the crampons can latch on to your ankle. And you want a good grip. Wearing a good pair of hiking boots in January is so incredibly important. Please don't wear sneakers. And then have a think about if you need crampons. January is super icy, so it might be a good idea to wear one of these. And now for the outer layers. But first, you can rent all the outdoor gear that you need for Iceland right here with us. Use the discount code January for 10% off. Let's start with the pants. You'll want to be wearing outdoor pants to protect you from the wind, the rain, the snow, and the cold. The pants make all the difference. Trust me, especially if you're going to be hunting the northern lights, you can be standing still for a very long time. Don't neglect the outdoor pants. Then for the upper body, you got two choices, the shell or the parka. Let's start with the parka. The parka is extremely warm, windproof, and highly water resistant. Most of them are made for extreme conditions, so they'll keep you warm in January. If you go for the parka, you'll probably not need a lot of mid layers. If you're wearing the base layers, the outdoor pants, and the parka, most of the time, you'll be just fine. And if it gets super windy, that's when you want to add on the mid layer. Now the shell is highly water resistant, windproof, and it's very breathable. It's not as warm as the parka, so you will need more mid layers underneath. But it does offer more flexibility. So if you're going for a long hike, like a day or two, then the shell is a good option. Now for January, I recommend the parka. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where your outer layer and your mid layers just aren't enough. And the parka will be able to keep you warm no matter the weather. Then put on a beanie and some thick gloves, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to give you a few recommendations. But as always, if you're prone to cold or you're just not used to it, just add a layer to my recommendations. Now this is a very cold day, windy and low temperatures. Put on all the layers, your base layers, mid layer, and outer layer. This right here is a lovely day. A bit cold, but not windy. And it's snowing, a perfect winter day. In this example, thermals, outdoor pants, and a parka will do just fine. And if you want to use a shell, just add a mid layer. Now this right here is a yellow warning due to high winds. Very cold, very windy. This is the true Icelandic experience. Put on all the layers you have, you'll need them. And be careful when driving. And that's it. I hope you have a better understanding of what to expect and how to prepare for Iceland in January. And again, if you want to rent some outdoor stuff, you can do that right here with us. Use the discount code January for 10% off at icelandcover.com. But that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.